If you want to win friends and influence people, then this video is for you. There are so many ways that we can learn how to be a better person, but one of the most effective ways to do it is by learning from some of the best in the business. Hello and welcome to another Psychology Sharp video. In this video, I will share 5 classic principles I use to win friends and influence people. I picked these principles from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale wrote the book in 1936, and leaders like Warren Buffett swear that the lessons of Carnegie have stood the test of time. These principles do not revolve around trends. Instead, they come from the roots of social intelligence and good social skills. So, if you want people to like you, build lifelong friendships, or learn how to inspire and influence people, then you need to watch this video till the end. Before jumping in, please note that this is not a book review video. This video does not contain all Dale Carnegie's principles from the book. These are just big ideas I chose from the book. Let us get right into it. Principle number 1. Make people feel important by being genuinely interested in them. This is the master's principle. So what does it mean? It basically means that you should be genuinely interested in what other people have to say and care about them as a person. When people feel like they matter, they begin to trust you more, and this makes it easier for you to influence their actions later on. What does being genuinely interested in someone mean? It means listening actively. Active listening is when you fully engage in what a person has to say, and you don't just hear the words that they are saying, but you try and imagine how it would be if you were in that situation. You can even try acting as if you were going through the same thing that they are experiencing, so you can empathize with them on a deeper level. Don't forget to ask questions too. It's easy to focus so much on what we want to talk about that we forget that people like talking about themselves. By asking questions, it shows us that you are interested in what they're saying, and it also shows that you have empathy for them. If you want to deep dive on this subject, then I suggest you watch my video in the description on how to read anyone instantly. Principle number 2. Talk in connection with the other person's interest. Okay, so this is where we can build on our first point of being genuinely interested in someone. What I mean by this principle is simple. Find out what they like to talk about, and then talk about that. And what I mean by talk about means more than just making small talk. I mean actually communicating with them on a deeper level. By doing this, 2 things happen. You get to see what their passions are, and they feel like you know them better because they know that you were interested in finding out about them. Remember, the best conversations are when both people involved are genuinely interested in hearing whatever it is that the speaker has to say. A lot of times, we say something and then we want a response back right away. But I have a feeling you've experienced this before. It seems like the other person isn't listening because they're not agreeing with you or they don't understand what you said. The truth is, if you want to influence people more, you have to open up a little bit more and talk about things that you might not feel comfortable talking about. Principle number 3. Do not resist people. Agree first, then show them why they are wrong. The masters don't say that we should agree with people just to get along. Instead, it means that you should understand where they're coming from, and then build your case after you've put yourself in their shoes. If someone is disagreeing with you, then you shouldn't respond quickly by saying, "No, it's not like that." Instead, you should try and understand where they're coming from first before saying anything else. 75% of the people you will ever meet are hungering and thirsting for sympathy. Give it to them and they will love you for it. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're agreeing with them, but it means that you are trying to see things from their perspective. You showed them your level of respect for them by actually hearing out what they have to say. Principle number 4. Stop complaining, criticizing, and condemning people. Make the fault look easy to correct. This principle is pretty simple, but it's very effective in persuasion. The way that you do this is by first pointing out something good about the person or situation. Then you follow up with what could be improved upon. For example, "I like the way you did X, but I have a better idea. Can we try that instead?" What people are seeking is approval and acceptance. When you give them this, you make them feel more positive about themselves as well as your suggestion. This goes hand in hand with what we talked about when we mentioned sympathy. If you can show someone that you are trying to see things from their perspective, and then give them your opinion on the situation or a possible solution, they will always be receptive to it. Most importantly, you will find that they admire your level of confidence and trust in yourself. An example would be like if you're trying to help a friend or loved one with their diet. Instead of saying, "Dude, you really need to work on dropping some pounds," try something different. You know, I love you no matter what, and I also think you're really great at what you do. Now, I know this may be hard for you to hear me say this, but I'm worried for your health. These extra pounds can cause a lot of problems in the long run. You see how it's not about completely giving up and saying, you need to change? You're also letting them know that you're not just giving up or running away. It's about being honest, but at the same time, respectful and loving to them. Principle number 5. You're not fully dressed without a smile. Quick question. How do you feel when you walk up to the cashier and the next thing you see on their face is a frown? Chances are, you'd want to frown too. Now imagine you walk up to them and you see a smile on their face. I bet you'd smile back. That's the catch. A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall, and a smile catches the attention of people around you. I know this sounds corny, but there's something about smiling that instantly relaxes and calms us down. The next time you meet someone new, always wear a sincere smile. Even while we talk on the phone, our smile comes through our voices. A smile on your face will show that you are happy to meet with them, be with them, or talk with them. It sends a message of goodwill and that all hope is not lost. If you want to win friends and influence people, it's important that you take the time to understand where people you interact with are coming from before offering advice or criticism. This means understanding their perspective first, then seeing things from a different angle. You'll find that if you do this with compassion and empathy in your heart, people will be more receptive to what you have to say. The simple takeaway to win friends and influence people is to learn that it's never about you. Get interested in people by making them talk about themselves. Don't judge their actions. Instead, try to understand them first, and finally, always wear a smile. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Let me know in the comments section which principle you'll start using to win friends. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you could hit that like and subscribe button to help our content rise to the top. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.